Hey y'all, it's Patty, and I wanted to give a quick edit to the episode you're about to listen to. We gave the incorrect dates as far as the on sale dates for some of these tickets that are going on sale for the Halloween parties. June 27th is the date for Magic Keyholders to buy their Oogie Boogie Bash tickets, and June 29th is the day that it goes on sale to the general public. I think we said June 26th and June 28th, so we were off a day. We don't want to confuse anybody who's listening to this, so be sure to mark your calendars accordingly.
Merry Halloween to everyone watching this video. We are here to talk about Christmas and my favorite, Halloween at Disneyland. We're going to do both coasts, both holidays. We're feeling very holiday spirited here in the heat of June.
To all who come to our happy place, welcome to the No Guilt Disney podcast, where we have no guilt about our love of all things Disney.
We are three Disney fangirls who probably know more about Halloween at Disney than most grown women should, and we're very, very okay with that.
I would say one of us in particular knows a lot more about Halloween. let's give some credit where credit's due. That is very much Jane's arena. But hello, everyone. My name is Theresa, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Gertie the Dino.
I'm Jane, and you can find me at all Halloween parties and on Instagram at Real Mousewife WDW.
Hey y'all, I'm Patty Holiday from NoGuiltDisney.com and in the No Guilt universe. You can find me at No Guilt Life, No Guilt Fangirl, and here on YouTube, as well as every now and then on Instagram and TikTok. But we don't need to go there. Just stay here. We are super excited because it is getting to be some of the most fun part times of the year for Disney fans, and that's going to be the holidays. And I just booked a friend who is like, oh, my husband wants to take his daughter. She's never been. She's obsessed with Disneyland at Halloween. So if they go the first week of October, would they be okay? I'm sorry, Disney World, not Disneyland. They're going to Disney World. And I just laughed and I was like, friend, they start in August. We're good. She's so good. And she was like, oh, okay, great.
I opened a cabinet where Patty's been here, so she knows I have a million kitchen cabinets and I don't have stuff to go in them, which is fine. I have dishes and things, but I am not a person that has an excess of kitchen gadgets or things like that. So all of my seasonal decor is hidden in these closets. And this morning I opened up one of the cabinets. I went high up to grab something and I was like, oh, my pumpkin is up there. And I got so excited because I was like, it's almost August 1st. It's almost pumpkin season. And I was like, only in Florida near Disney is August 1st pumpkin season.
Let's say Florida and at Starbucks.
Yes, and it's they even wait until the end of August, though.
Those two married each other very nicely in this whole agreement that they're going to kick off all the pumpkin everything early. So you know what? We're going to first start talking about Halloween, what we know, what we can tell you. I am just letting you know up front, we have tons of content that you can either go back and listen to in previous episodes where we reviewed some of these parties. We talked about our experiences at them. I also have blog posts galore as far as tips, tricks, details that you are going to be interested in if you are going to any of these parties. Those will be listed in the show notes or here on YouTube in the comments. So go click those links if you're looking for anything. You can also come to the Facebook group and ask any questions that you may have, because we're a cute little community over there and we like to help out in any way we can. So that's what we are here for. But we're going to dive in with, as it makes the most sense, with Halloween. And we'll try to calm Jane down a little bit so she doesn't go too overboard and run too long, because if we let her, we'd be here for days. This would be a live stream where all she does is walk in and out and tell you how much she loves Halloween and what you need to know. So, do you have dates? Do you know the dates of the Halloween official time?
I do. So for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is the Halloween party that's at Walt Disney World, That party begins on August 11th. That is a Friday. And it goes through, I believe, November 1st is the last one this year. And that party is Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday until it hits October, and then they add Thursday to the mix as well. So that is always like pretty standard. And if you're not going to go to the party, you should also know that on those days, Magic Kingdom will close early. So Magic Kingdom will close at 6 o'clock on those particular days. Regular fireworks, happily ever after, won't be available. So, you might want to reschedule your vacations and plan accordingly around, hey, that park's going to close at 6 o'clock. So we need to make sure we see fireworks on Mondays or Wednesdays. Yeah. So very important there. For California, for Disneyland, their parties start on September 5th, I believe. Yes. Tuesday, September 5th, starts Oogie Boogie Bash, which is going to be in Disneyland California Adventure. And that last party is October 31st. So super excited about that. I can't wait to go. We're doing 2 parties this year. I'm absolutely...
Seems a little overkill. It seems a little overkill to do 2.
What? I don't understand this word that you speak of.
Look, I'm down. I'm in. I'm going to follow with the group, but I'm just saying it seems a little overkill.
I cannot get enough, and I did tell everybody here because we're bringing some friends of mine who haven't done Oogie Boogie Bash already, and I said, oh, we need to make sure we do Halloween party, not so scary, here in Florida first, so that we're not disappointed when we come back from California. So
that's fair. It's a fair assessment. So yeah, it's a good thing that we are going. Are we all going? Theresa, did we make a decision on that yet?
It's tough because of just other travel I have going on. That's all kind of around the same time. So we'll get to this also when we talk about the winter holidays at Walt Disney World. Also, there's many things I want to do. I'm trying to find out how I can fit them all in, both in terms of scheduling and financially, because I do have an annual pass, but that's also a terrible thing for my bank account because
I do understand.
It's wonderful and it's terrible and I love it. And I just want to do all the things. So.
All the things. I know. I hear you. All right. Well, keep us posted because we all 3 have tickets for that party. And if you can come, you can come. And I would love to share that experience as a group. So one thing I wanted to point out is as I mentioned, I was just looking for this friend for tickets for her trip. And there's actually quite a bit of availability left, which is weird for a Halloween time at Walt Disney World. But if you are still interested in that and you're still thinking about it, and if, you needed this nudge to go, oh, there's still tickets available. Okay, then I'll go. Well, here you go. There's your nudge. So check it out. I, again, have the list on the blog posts that are, go check them out so you can pick out your dates and get your tickets. Okay, so we have Oogie Boogie there. We have Not So Scary here. I believe there's podcasts and probably not YouTube, but podcast recordings of our reviews on those things from previous years. So definitely go take a listen to those. Jane, you went to Oogie Boogie for the first time last year, and you are a hardcore Mickey's Not So Scary. And what did you tell me?
Oh, Oogie Boogie is by far the better of the 2 parties. But I will also say that it's different strategies. When you go to each park, it's a different strategy, especially for me who lives here. Patty and I get into this every year, this same debate, which is when I go to Mickey's Not So Scary, we are trick-or-treating. We are trick-or-treating from the minute we get in. This is Heather and I, we are trick-or-treating over and over and over and over again. And just, I mean, the fun fact is we don't even really eat the candy. But we are trick-or-treating because we can, because where else can adults trick-or-treat like this? So we're all about that.
To come to ride some rides with me, please.
I would be the one going to see all the characters. I would be going to see all the characters in their costumes because that's my favorite part of it is getting to see them in something you can only see them wearing at the parties. So
agreed. And there's tons of magic shots, and there's so many like fun Halloween specific characters, and they do that out here. And I think like the vibe of it out here is very different because it is Mickey's Not So Scary, so it's focused more so on Mickey and Minnie. I will say that Florida has the top tier parade. So if you're a parade person, which is also not for Patty, but it is absolutely for me, Boo to You is my number one favorite parade that is currently still running. Paint the Night. Just say, that's not true. I'm sorry.
That's not true. Magic happens.
That's not true. Magic happens. I'm a Magic Happens girl now. So I would say that Florida has great things, but it's definitely very different. And then Oogie Boogie is just fantastic. The characters are so different than what we have here in Florida. The setup is different. I'm like less really about the trick-or-treating, but because the characters and the trick-or-treating are tied together.
They're combined. It's so smart. It's so great.
It's so efficient.
It is. Yeah. It's just, anyway, it's superior. So if you're looking or you're thinking that you might want to try Disney World or Disneyland at some point because you've always been a Disney World person and you have that opportunity, we're just saying that these tickets are going on sale pretty soon. And you may want to jump on that. So the tickets go on sale for the general public on the...
Are you talking about Oogie Boogie or Not So Scary?
Oogie Boogie.
Not So Scary is already on sale, isn't it?
Not So Scary is on sale. Oogie Boogie is not on sale yet.
Right. Oogie Boogie is June 26th for Magic Key and June 28th for general admission.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. So that's what you need to know about those. And we will also tell you with Oogie Boogie, I would be shocked if they did not sell out very quickly. Last year, it was within a week.
Yeah.
This year, maybe people are traveling a little bit less. Last year was definitely a big revenge travel kind of situation. So it may take a little bit longer, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like the Disneylanders really, really dig these parties. So if this is the thought process,
I would think that for next year, because last year was also overlapped with D23 Expo for some of the dates, which is when you guys were both able to go. Yep. So I think that also may slightly impact, I still think it's going to be a hot ticket item, especially after everybody hearing about how great it was. But for some dates, it might not be as quick as it would have been last year because of the overlap of Disney fans who are kind of congregating in the area.
Right.
I do also know that like Oogie Boogie is very much a locals party out there. Like I have a ton of friends that live in Southern California that are not necessarily Magic Keyholders or diehard, Disneyland people. They'll go once a year or something just because it's the local thing to do. But they absolutely always get Oogie Boogie tickets. Like the family always goes to Oogie Boogie for Halloween. So I think that that's also a big contributing factor to how quickly it sells out.
Right. I mean, So just a heads up, even though I think things might be softening a little bit when it comes to travel, I don't personally, as a travel agent, I haven't seen it soften a ton. It's not crashing. It is not, nobody's traveling. Everybody's still traveling. I just definitely feel like there could be a little bit of a softening, but I think we're talking maybe these tickets stay on sale for 2 weeks or 3 weeks instead of 1 week, right? Like that's what we're talking about. They're still going to sell out. Okay, so that is your Halloween. If you want more Halloween discussion, do not worry. We are going to give it to you. We are going to go to this party, one of the first parties when it comes out. And we will definitely jump on and give a discussion with that. Hopefully Teresa's coming with us, but if she's not, then you will have me and Jane tell you all about how much we loved Not So Scary this year, because I'm assuming we are going to love it. I just saw that Walt Disney World was putting a casting call out for a Bruno.
I saw that.
So that made me think there might be a Bruno showing up for, Mickey's Not So Scary this year. So we'll see. Because he was
great. Which is fun, but also I like.
You haven't seen the movie, have you?
No, no, I tried to watch it like 3 times, but I have ADHD, so that doesn't work out for me. But I like the exclusivity of it at Disneyland. Like it made Disneyland special. Not that I was waiting online for it, because as you know, I was not. Um, but and they have plenty of other exclusive characters that are out at Oogie Boogie instead. So
yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. Okay, so we ready to talk a little bit about Christmas. Christmas information just came out, like more details. It's not completely filled with details, but they gave us a lot of information. I'm going to touch on Disneyland real quick because they did not give us a lot of information for Disneyland. We basically got confirmation that Small World Holiday, it will be back. Thank goodness, because it's amazing. I mean, it is amazing. And they also said that Mickey and Minnie have some new costumes, which are really cute. But, you know, of course they are. They're Mickey and Minnie. They're not going to put them in anything stupid, right? They're going to always dress them cute. And that's about all we got from Disneyland. Now, if you go to the website for Disneyland, you can see that almost everything that's kind of holiday related says scheduled to return for 2023. So that's great. Like that's what we know, or that's what we can expect is things are coming back. So that's going to be just the typical stuff. Viva Navidad, holiday time tour is scheduled to come back. There's going to be Candlelight Processional. There's going to be the World of Color Season of Light, Mater's Jingle Jamboree, which gets an overlay, and Luigi's also gets an overlay. So that's all in Cars Land, and it's really cute. There's going to be, of course, Haunted Mansion Holiday, because that happens every year. A heads up for anybody that's planning on going to Disneyland at the end of August. Your Haunted Mansion experience will be impacted. What happens is about 2 weeks before the end of August, they close it down and they don't reopen it until the first couple of days of September.
And we do have a date for that. It's September 1st is the opening date for Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Perfect. So, yeah. And what they do is they just basically throw up everything inside from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you're a fan of that movie, this is a must see. You have to go and do this. If you're not a fan of that movie, I'm sorry. This is what they do to Haunted Mansion every year. And it starts running in September and it continues to run all the way through until typically the middle of January. We'll see when they close it off. For those that are runners and are aware that Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend is right after what's typically the end of the holiday season at Disneyland. But Jane and I both know for sure that when this happened in the past, because it was always that race weekend, those opportunities were still there. Like the Haunted Mansion was
not.
Oh, it wasn't? Did they close it down?
It was not. No, because that was my issue, was that I used to run September and January. And when I would come in September, it was closed. And when I would come in January, it was closed.
Okay.
But I did get the Christmas It's a Small World. So did you get to
ride through it, or did you just get the outside? I know for sure we got the outside. We have pictures, but you got to ride it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
You definitely got to ride through it in January. It doesn't start, I think, until mid-November. So that's not, impacted by like the summer or the Halloween or anything there. But it was definitely still open when I went in January for the races.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So everybody is aware you can pencil in these dates. They are not official dates, but based on previous expectations for Disneyland Christmas, if you want to know when Disneyland Christmas starts, we expect it to be November 10th through January 7th or January 8th of 2024. Again, there will be some, we hope anyway, for those of us that are running and show up the next week. We hope that some of that sticks around. I remember like the Christmas trees and stuff were still up in a lot of those pictures during the January weekend. So I don't think it's not like the Halloween where literally the stroke of midnight, they're pulling everything down and getting rid of it. I think it takes a little bit longer to pack away Christmas. I mean, doesn't it for everybody? So why is Disneyland any different? So that's our expectation, is that it's going to be November 10th to January 8-ish. And then we'll see how long they stick that around. But that's kind of all we know. Disneyland does not do any Christmas parties. They did it one year for whatever reason that has not come back. We don't know if it was money. We don't know if it was just like feedback. We don't know scheduling. I don't know why they didn't, but Merriest Nights, I think is what it was called. And they're not bringing it back as of this year. At least not that we've seen any announcements for it. And I think they would have announced that. So I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I do just want to add, for anybody who is running the race weekend, I know this isn't holiday specific, but I happen to be on today because I'm a chronic hotel watcher. So I'm always like, did the prices change? Can I get something different, better, closer, this, that? Like, I'm always looking at stuff like that. And the prices are insane. So if you have not booked your hotel for Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend in January, definitely do it now. There's so many places that are sold out. There's so many places that are just very expensive for where their normal price would be. And I'm talking about ones that are off of property. So not necessarily the Disneyland hotel or Grand Cal or Paradise Pier. But yeah, definitely if you haven't done that already,
go ahead and
get on
it.
Yeah, and very, very limited.
Something else they did announce or confirmed that they expect the update to the Paradise Pier Hotel to now be the Toy Story. Is it going to be the Toy Story Hotel, y'all?
Pixar? I think it's Pixar Pier Hotel.
Pixar Pier Hotel. Okay, something like that. That is going to happen by the end of the year, is what they're saying. So you can expect, if you're coming in January, that that may be, if you want an all new experience, if you love Pixar so much, that's going to be a new experience for everybody during that time. Now, I have also looked at those prices. They're pretty proud of it. So let's hope that it's worth it, because those prices are, ouch, they are steep for Paradise Pier. I remember back in the day, like, I think the first time I stayed there, I probably paid $170 a night. And now it's like over $600 a night. And it's the same hotel, y'all. It's the same hotel. Like, it hasn't changed that much. But anyway, I digress. So that's what we have going on at Disneyland. Let's talk about Walt Disney World. We're going to get to the breaking news, but first let's start with the old news, the normal stuff, and that's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Theresa, I know I've asked you this before. You've never been to this one, right?
I have once.
Okay.
One time.
Okay. And Jane, you don't even bother, do you?
I have been to the party before, but it's not for me because it's not Halloween.
There it is. Okay. Well, I went last year. I had been one other time, but it was years before, and I totally did the party wrong. Like, I in the middle of the party, I left and ate at Ohana. So I spent like 2 hours of this precious party time eating Ohana.
Was it before or after you rode rides that you could ride any other time of the day?
Shut up. Both. It was in between, Jane. It was in between. But yeah, I mean, that's true. I just didn't do it right. I didn't do any of the special stuff. So this last year I went in 2022, and it was the first night of a hurricane. So I can tell you, do not recommend. It was a little depressing. So if you want to hear my thoughts on all of that, you can go back and listen to that episode. I recognize that a lot of that had to do with the weather. So I think I'm going to give it another try this year. I think I'm going to go back and see what happens, see if I like it a little bit better. But I am recognizing, and I will agree with Jane, it's not Halloween. So I don't know that I'm going to be this major Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party fangirl like ever.
Although I am just thinking, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know you and I did Halloween party. We did Not So Scary one time, and that was also the night of a hurricane.
It was.
And you're like, and I did Christmas
Maybe
last
it's
year,
me.
which is, and I'm like, is it you? Are you the hurricane?
It might be me. Maybe I'm the problem. So if anybody wants my dates and you want to know when to go, hit me up and I'll let you know. So yeah, there's that. So what happens at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? These tickets go on sale to the general public on July 6th. So by the time you hear this, you can decide to get ramped up and mark your calendar. But July 6th, June 29th, if you are already on property for any of those party dates, you will be able to go in and get your tickets. You can also reach out to any of your travel agents and see if they can help you out with those tickets. But that's when these tickets all go on sale. You get at this party, you get a special Christmas time parade that you do not get any other time of except the 2 weeks at Christmas, right? Don't they do it?
That was my one thing I was going to point out was that the Christmas parade is really beautiful. Like I absolutely love the Christmas parade. If I were not to be here and have access during the 2 weeks that they run it, then I would book a Christmas party ticket. But I do have access. Actually, I might not this year because I think I downgraded my pass. I don't know.
Might want to check that before June 29th or July 6th. I might.
Well, I can't afford it. I'm going to all the Oogie Boogies. By all I mean two, but that's enough.
That's funny. That is well done. Okay, so they have that. They have fireworks, a totally different fireworks show. They're doing an additional show with Elsa and Anna and Olaf and Kristoff, but this one is going to also be during like the regular holiday time frame at Walt Disney World. So if you have big Frozen fans and you don't want to pay the extra money for this will be something that you can see while you're there during that time. But it's going to be a new show.
But it's the castle lighting, right? So it's like
it is replacing that. I did make notes. So it's called the Frozen Holiday Surprise. And it's a brand new Frozen-inspired entertainment experience that will illuminate the castle in a whole new way. Which a lot of people reading between the lines is that Dreamlights is not necessarily coming back again. And I think that's something that I'm taking, I'll say, personally a little disappointed. There's still a chance that they're going to do something fun and new. But I had been under the impression that the Dreamlights were not back at the period of time because I didn't want the crane in the background of people's pictures for like the 50th anniversary celebrations. I was hoping that with the 50th anniversary stuff down, we would get, the crane would be back for a brief period of time, but we'd get the Dreamlights back. It seems like that may not be happening. So fingers crossed they'll do something, but
here's my thing. So in place of the Dreamlights, they did the projections. And I don't know if either of you, I know Patty, you must have seen them because you did Christmas. And I think Theresa, you saw them last year, right?
I was there, I can't remember if they were doing it at the time in November when I was there, because I was there the very early November. I can't remember if they'd started yet, but I'll say if it did, it doesn't jump out in my head. So if I saw it,
was
I
it
don't
memorable?
Them. Yeah,
I think it's actually, it started after you were gone.
I would think so. Yeah,
but they did these the projections, and I actually love them. They're really cute. There's 4 or 5 different ones. They rotate through them that they put on the castle. But my biggest thing is I'm not team Dreamlights or not team Dreamlights. I'm team light up my castle. Mm-hmm. But why can't you project Dreamlights onto the castle and then everyone's happy?
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's a whole new way that we're getting, which would make me happy because I think if I had to choose, I would choose Dreamlights. But I am also I don't hate the projections. I think there's something to be said with it's beautiful and it's really cool how they changed that up and whatever. But if you could combine the two and you can give me both, I'm all about that life. So let's do it, Disney. I that would be great. Maybe that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah, and I'll say for me, I love Christmas lights. Generally, I get very excited when I'm going around town and I start to see, lights popping up around here. I also, just with my vision, I struggle with projections. So the lights I can make out very clearly. I can at least tell where they're shining. And the projections are just harder. But again, I could get behind Dreamlight projections. So if they want to do that, even if it's one of several different lighting things that they do with the castle, that would also be great. But yeah, so we'll wait and see. Like I said, they've said that more information is going to come out about that sometime soon. But for right now, like I said, it's not going to be the exact same show that it was before. That much we know.
Also, what is not going to be the same as it was last year, they are not doing the Tomorrowland Speedway overlay thing that they did last year, which I was driving that car in the rain because it was in the middle of a hurricane. But I liked the idea behind it because, like Theresa, I love Christmas lights like that too. So I thought it was a cute idea to be driving your car and seeing all the Christmas lights out there. That they're not doing that this year. And they also are not doing the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor overlay, whatever version that they did last year. That's not returning. What is returning is Space Mountain, which is terrifying because they blink these colored lights to Christmas music the whole time. So like you're liking the Christmas music and then the lights are going and that sounds like all jolly and great. But then you're on Space Mountain and they light up basically the tracks and y'all don't want to see the tracks on Space Mountain. Trust me. I know everybody's like, oh, that's my dream. I want to see it all lights on. No, you do not. Not while you are plunging through this and you're like, it's scary, y'all. It is scary. So it's not quite the holiday feels that I think they were going for, but it's back. So, if that's your thing, that might be something that's worth signing up for this party to experience because you can only do this during the party. It will not happen during the rest of the time. And then the Jingle Cruise is also coming back, which is a Christmas overlay for the Jungle Cruise. And that is going to be around the whole time. Obviously, they don't like turn that one on and off. So those are the experiences. Tron will be open during this party, but you will also need a virtual queue access. If you have no idea how to do that, I got you covered. I got a blog post for it. I'll throw it down here. If I don't throw it down here, please just remind me and I'll put it somewhere for you to find. But so that's kind of the basics of this party. Again, way more details on the previous episodes if you want to scroll back through to it's October or November when we did this. I can't remember when we did this, but we did a Merriest podcast episode where we talked all about the details of that party. So that's what I know. What else am I missing? Anything else for that particular party detail?
There's free snacks.
Free snacks.
There are free snacks.
Which is a highlight. I'm not going to lie. Like the cookies are really good.
I will say the cookies were good. I only got one because I didn't think Jane told me later I should have just gone through and collected them all and had a bunch of cookies to eat later because they're wrapped. They're in plastic, so I could have just taken them home with me. But the cookie I had was really good. The cocoa I had was good. Anything else, Jane?
Not on that party, but Theresa, do you want to tell us about the new exciting thing?
Yes, I'm so excited. And we were talking about, am I coming to the Halloween party? I mentioned there's something else that I'm like, if I'm making another trip, there's something I want to do so badly. And Disney has introduced what they're calling Disney Jollywood Nights. And this is going to be a new hard ticket party that's going to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's not going to be quite as expansive as Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Mm-hmm. This one's only going to be 10 nights. So 5 nights in November and 5 in December. And it's going to be on different nights than the Halloween party. So if you were planning a trip during November or December and you wanted to do both, you absolutely have the ability to. But this party just is completely up my alley. I'm going to start off with number one, the thing I'm most excited about. There's going to be a live variety show hosted by Kermit and Miss Piggy. Like, you're giving me like Muppets doing things in front of me. That right there. That's all I need.
And it has been confirmed that they are going to have Piggy and Kermit on this stage. So it's not like it's just video of them talking and,
Right. I imagine it's going to be similar to how you would see in Liberty Square when they did those shows throughout the day.
Which, by the way, bring that back, you cowards. That was the
I would be so happy if they brought that back. But no, I'm, like I said, this Muppet show, I don't know how many shows during the day they're going to do, but it's going to be at Theater of the Stars, which is the theater that the Beauty and the Beast live on stage is occurring, and there's also going to be appearances from some of the princesses, so we know Tiana and Belle will be there. So it's not just going to be Muppets doing things. I'm assuming it's going to be some holiday music, live performances, but also Muppets. So I just want to see that so badly. I think one of the other really notable things that a lot of people will be excited about is with this party, they announced that Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam is returning, which I believe for the first time since 2019. This was a projection show that was introduced 2016-ish. That uses the characters from Prep and Landing and a lot of different holiday imagery. I know a lot of people really love that show. Very excited it's coming back, but a little disappointed that it's only going to be seen during the parties. So if you saw that and miss it definitely keeping our eye out for tickets. We'll talk more about what's going to be at the party in a moment, but I do want to give the dates on tickets. So this is another one where if you have a trip, you're already booked at one of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels or Swan and Dolphin or Shades of Green, you can start buying your tickets on June 29th. And all other guests can start purchasing tickets on July 6th. The ticket prices are also pretty on par with what it is for the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom. So it's between $159 and $179 a person. So this is not a cheap thing to do. It's definitely, a little bit of an investment, but I will add in addition to some of the other entertainment, there's going to be a DJ. They said that there is going to be over in Commissary Lane, there's going to have a lively Latin street full of holiday flair. There's going to be a little swanky lounge over at the Brown Derby. They're going to have a little party over at the Hollywood Tower Hotel Courtyard area. It just sounds like there's going to be a lot of things you can go and see and do. There's also going to be attractions. Rise of Resistance is going to have the virtual queue. And they have said to dress in your best, which also, talking about glitz and glamour, I feel like it's going to be a holiday Dapper Day, unofficial Dapper Day type event. So I said, everything about this, it's check all the boxes. But I also wanted to mention, they did also say with this ticket, there's going to be complimentary digital downloads for all of the Disney Photo Pass photos that you get. So in addition to, there's going to be, special magic shots, a lot of characters that you can see. I do think being able to have those downloads for your photo pass, if it's not part of your annual pass package, if you haven't purchased it for your trip, I do think that adds value to the overall ticket prices. I don't know if either of you know they do that for the other parties or not, but that was something that stood out to me as being a nice bonus for this one.
They don't do it for the Christmas party out here in Florida, and they don't do it for the Halloween party out here in Florida, but they do it for Oogie Boogie Bash in Disneyland. So
yep, they do. Again, superior, right? So this party, part of me was I gave an eye roll, a slight eye roll. And then secondly, I said both Jane and Theresa are going to sign up and go to this party because Jane loves Hollywood Studios at Christmas. It's her absolute favorite time to go to Hollywood Studios, and it's the best decorated from a Christmas perspective and that sort of thing. And then like you said, everything else just screamed Theresa to me. So I was like, I know that these girls are going to go. And I was kind of going back and forth. And then the details of Dress Your Best and Hollywood Glitz and Glam and the Tower of Terror little courtyard party, that sold it for me. And so I think what I'm trying to say here is, I'll be honest, I don't know that this is so much something that I would pay to take my kids to. Right. But I think it would be a great date night. I think it would be a great, get the girls together, get your crew together, get your group of people together, adults, and go and lean into some of this. I love old Hollywood. That's one of the things that I love about Hollywood Studios. A lot of that is being chipped away, and it's not nearly what it was the first time I went to MGM Studios. It's a very different experience than going in now. But I am a movie girl. I'm a tourist at heart. Whenever I go to LA, I love doing all the studio tours. We used to have one literally in the backyard at Hollywood Studios. I guess it's just at MGM. I don't know if by the time they changed the name, if it was still even running, but I love those types of things. So all of that old Hollywood stuff it gets me. I love it. I just think it's so cool. So I am so excited just to people watch. I am hoping people bring it. I want you all dressed. I want you dressed to the nines. I want you looking shimmery and fabulous. I won't even say anything if you wear terrible shoes to the park and your feet hurt. I don't care. I think it'll be adorable and beautiful. Oh, I'll still wear tennis shoes, but yeah. But I'm just saying, I will not judge you for looking cute and adorable for this party. So I think, the three of us are all super interested in this. Again, is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be worth an extra payment for somebody who are, 3 annual pass holders? These things that used to be available to everybody that could get into Disney World, and now they're behind paywalls. I'm not a fan of that. I understand why they do it. I do, but I almost wish that they put Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam out for the regular people and gave us something different for this party, like something, just party exclusive. Then it would have really been exclusive. But that one also only ran for like 3 years. So I can see why they feel like we'll just take it over. We'll make it work. I think my prediction is that this party is going to sell out fastest out of all of them, because it's going to be, like you said, very limited. I think Theresa said 10 dates and new. And I think there's a subset of people who are going to get real excited about either the Muppets or the idea of dancing, at the Tip Top Club, even though it's not going to be at the Tip Top Club. It's going to be in the courtyard. But it could be a lot of fun. This has a lot of promise. So
and I'll say for me, this is one of the first parties or, add-on events in a long time that I feel like if I don't go, I'm going to have the worst FOMO. Like the fear of missing out is it's going to be so strong. So I am trying to figure out when and if I can make it happen. But yeah, like I said, everything about this party is just like, did I plan this? Did Disney read my dream journal? Because they might have.
They might have.
Everything about it. I'm just so excited.
It's because they listen to the podcast, Theresa, and they're like, they promote out, Hollywood Studios is the best Christmas park, and Gertie needs to be featured, obviously. And that's what I was going to
add in. It has not been spelled out anywhere, but they in some of their artwork when they did a presentation for some media earlier, and in the background you could see in all of their holiday artwork, Gertie was Santa again. So I will confirm, not that they would take it away now because it's wonderful, but yes, Gertie is being shown with her Santa gear when they're talking about the holidays at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
so it's going to get her back.
It's going to be great. I hope this lives up to expectations. Would I love it to be on the level of Oogie Boogie and how much I love that? Would I love that? Yes. Do I really think it's going to happen that way? I don't think so. I just don't think so. But I'm going for it. I'm going to get a ticket. I hope you guys are too, and that we can figure out how to make this all happen. So that's it for all the holiday stuff, right?
They announced a couple of things that are not ticketed items.
I forget there's 3 other parks that might actually have something holiday going on.
so we have a few dates. So the Candlelight Processional will be back at Epcot during the International Festival of the Holidays. The dates for that are going to be November 24th to December 30th. No announcements about any appearances yet. But that will be back, which is not surprising. There is going to be the projection show on the Hollywood Tower Hotel at Hollywood Studios. And there's Toy Story Land is going to get some holiday decor. The Christmas tree stroll will be back at Disney Springs. You can imagine all of the resorts are going to have their holiday decorations again. And there's one thing I've never seen in person as much as I've tried to, because I just always end up at this park during November when it's raining, is the Merry Menagerie that's at Disney's Animal Kingdom, they just have these animals. It's kind of like a puppetry thing that they just do within Discovery Island area. I've never seen them in person because I don't think they do it when it's raining or, been raining. But that is coming back. So if I do make it down again, that's absolutely going to be one of my stops. And it's not in here, but they also had a really fun holiday overlay at Dino Land, which I'm kind of hoping they bring that back too, because that was just adorable. Not announced, but it would be great if they did.
Okay. All right. So for all the Animal Kingdom stands, we're crossed our fingers for you that you get some of those fun things.
And we should just mention that the one thing that isn't coming back is the holiday overlay for Cosmic Rewind is not returning. So I think I don't know how many people are going to be upset about this. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some because there's, something for everybody. But like when Patty texted me and said, "Hey, this isn't coming back," I was like, "Oh, because it's terrible." And honestly, the way that it wasn't terrible. It was fine. It was just like, you guys could have done such a better job. Like, the song you wrote was not catchy, and it was not, it just wasn't the vibe. But I also think that it's important because how many people are coming during that time of year that have not yet experienced Cosmic Rewind in its true form. And so I understand why they would change that.
I'm wondering if that was like their major feedback. At least that would have been, that's kind of what I'm thinking is possibly.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Because it was also the first year it was open. Mm-hmm. So I imagine there were all these people that were like, hey, not everybody watches Disney podcasts. And Patty and I talk about this all the time, where she's like, Jane, not everybody's you. And I'm like, I don't understand. And like my best friend, like, she's coming with her family and her kids, and like, they don't consume Disney content the way that the rest of us do. And they would come on vacation expecting that it would be normal. Now, would they be thrilled to get a holiday version? Sure. They wouldn't know one way or the other. But I imagine that there are some people that, they're coming and they're like, hey, I'm so super excited. And I thought I was getting
September.
You said the trigger word, Patty.
Listen, I don't even feel bad about it because you can't get September if you don't go to the parks, Jane.
Well, I'm going on my birthday, and I specifically booked Epcot on my birthday, which is huge for Epcot because I am choosing to spend my best day of the year in a park that is my least favorite place. But I'm doing it because I feel like it's my time.
It's your time. All right. Well, get back to us and let us know.
I will let everybody know.
Okay. All right. So I think that's everything then. Holidays. Yes. We covered. We good. Okay. All right.
As of now, yeah, for sure. There will be more. We know.
Yes.
We know there's more coming out, and we know we will be talking about it more. And as always, Jane, where can they find us if they have more questions?
You can find us in the Facebook group, which is No Guilt Disney on Facebook, or you can email us at noguiltdisneypod@gmail.com. Guys, I almost forgot that again.
I could tell. But you did it. We're so proud of you.
I did it.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. And join us each week on the No Guilt Disney podcast because, as Patty likes to say,
it is no fun to fangirl Oogie Boogie Bash alone because it's Oogie Boogie Bash, y'all. You got to go to this party. Bye, y'all.
Bye.